Sent to the future from the year 2000 by a glitch caused by the Millennium Bug, I'm adapting to thrive in the peculiar conditions of the 2020s. Join me in a multimedia extravaganza as we surf the World Wide Web, catch up on 2 decades of video games, and where's my BGM gone? There it is. And mess around with creative tools new and old. I'm Millennium Cyborg. Welcome to the new millennium. Wow. Can barely remember my own intro. Okay. I have been nerd sniping myself over and over again. I wanted to stream just to, you know, not forget what streaming's like. But I've been diving deep into some new stuff like shaders, and my overlay. I'm redoing my overlay as an SVG controlled by JavaScript, which so I can change the URL. And it updates, and I'm gonna do something with that. I don't know, but mostly I've been working on reflections, as you can see. When I was messing around with, well, I'd noticed this quite a while back, that there was something slightly weird with the way that the alpha values were captured from VC Face. To be specific, when I've got a good scene here, so this is going to be very live. I went so deep into fiddling with things that my whole setup is completely broken in OBS. I don't have my auto scene switch anymore. Half my scenes are broken, but it's fine. I just have to do a bit more manual driving. Here is, yeah, Alpha Debug. So what I'm doing here is I'm increasing the contrast in the alpha layer, and you can see that as captured from VC Face, we've got solid where you'd expect solid and fully transparent where you'd expect fully transparent. But and this might be my lack of like, there might be things I'm missing. There probably are many things I'm missing, but you can see that the glasses, where you'd think they'd be completely opaque because there is something opaque behind them, they are partially transparent, and the actual transparency amount seems to be very close to the transparency setting of the glasses texture itself, which is 0.98, 0.99. So it's almost opaque, but not quite. And by boosting the contrast, we can then mask out specifically those areas of the rendered model and use that with some effort to do this cool effect, this cool reflection effect. I've gone through multiple iterations, improving the way it looks and making it more not quite physically accurate, but you know, just kind of fake accurate. So I've got what can I show that's a useful intermediate step? I'll bring in the mask. and then fiddle with some filters here. Actually, I managed to I had a lot of steps in here that I managed to consolidate it into shaders. So I've got one step that both captures all of the powerful alpha values, and then oh yes, I can turn off the erosion, and maybe okay, here we go. So I'm capturing all of the partly transparent pixels and ignoring all of the fully opaque or fully transparent ones. Then I want to narrow in on the ones that are from the glasses. So I do that with some upper and lower thresholds. And I have to be a bit careful to pick values that also work when the glasses are over background. So like this. And then I add just a bit of an erosion filter to get rid of the like little single pixels. And if we stick with just that, then you can see there's a bit of a black outline still around the reflection. And so I add an extra step where I dilate again, the inverse of the erode operation. And that part looks pretty good. So we've masked off specifically the area that contains transparency. And at that point we've basically won. We've got the part of the model that is reflective in a mask, and we can do all kinds of things with that. Now the interesting thing is, I was worried that this would be just some bug in VC Face, but I tested it and it turns out it also works in several other VTube applications. I tested VMagic Mirror, it doesn't work there. Lappet, although it's green screen, well, I mean, I only spent like a few minutes with each of these apps, so I might have missed something, but I think Lappet just does green screen background, but still has that transparency effect on the glasses. So you should be able to recover the image you want from there. Mitene seemed to work, and even VRM Live Viewer, which is more of an app for replaying like dance animations, also has this behavior. Obviously these are all based on Unity, so it's possible it's a Unity bug that's fixed in a later Unity version and one day it'll go away. It's definitely not what I would expect to be the intended behavior, but it's so useful for this effect. So I spent ages fiddling with that part of things. Oh, right. Okay, so once we've got the mask, nope, I need to add things to show them off, add things to the scene. The second step was creating an interesting reflection. Oh, by the way, I'm doing the lighting, the whole lighting thing that I've been doing since the beginning. So this is the reflection on top of that lit model. I've added the reflection to the scene, but it looks, oh, it's the wrong one. Hang on. It's the old version. The new version. And then, okay, here we go. Pay no attention to my face. What I'm doing is I'm taking, first of all, this capture is being mirrored. So I'm actually both my lighting and my reflections are mirrored, and that's something you could just turn off by flipping the transform on the scene. I'm adding a slight blur to it because it looks a bit better. I'm doing a 3D transform. You could do this. I'm actually just doing a 2D scaling. And you could do this with, you know, a source transform, but it saves a scene or source doing it as a filter. And I'm applying a non-uniform aspect ratio to simulate the glasses being slightly cylindrical. And then I've got a masking effect. So I used the mask we computed earlier, and I remove all of the pixels that aren't included in the mask, and then I also actually multiply the color value by 1/2. And the reason for that is I racked my brain for a long time trying to figure out, because what I wanted to do was do an additive blend of the reflection and what's behind. And I tried using an alpha blend first of all, but it doesn't look great. This is what it looks like with the alpha blend. And you can either end up with a very dark reflection, or you end up hiding the eyes a lot, which are already quite hidden by the dark glasses. What I end up figuring out, and I filled like pages of my notebook with equations, figuring out how do I combine a I'm trying to stick to what's available in Stream Effects, right? Rather than writing an OBS plugin from scratch. None of the shaders I found like 3 different OBS shader plugins, and none of them would let me write a custom shader that uses that combines 2 different dynamic sources. So what I did was try to figure out how to use just what's in Stream Effects, and what I figured out actually is that the operation of additive blending is the same as alpha blending with a 50% alpha and then doubling the values. And that very basic insight took me way too long to figure out. I was trying to do far more fancy and clever things. And that's what I'm doing here. So on my reflection, I've got 50% alpha, and I pre-multiply the color by some attenuation value. Then I blend it into the avatar, and then with another with another dynamic mask, I apply a 50% boost or 200% gain, masked off again with the reflection mask to those pixels. I can toggle the gain to show you that part. I'll be doing a proper like explanation with screenshots. I'm just talking through it at the moment. It's not easy to show you my OBS. So this is without the gain applied, and this is with the gain. It makes quite a big difference. Yeah, and that's about everything. So I wrote a number of different custom shaders, but they're all very simple ones. And my plan is to like post a Twitter thread and release the shaders required on GitHub. But I actually just figured out the whole proper additive compositing thing. So now it looks a lot better, and I'm gonna load up a few games that I think will look neat. Alright, what we're going to start with, let's start with some Stepmania. Hey Ren. Welcome to my very scuffed development stream. Alright. I've also got my own Twitch open to get a better idea of how much of a reflection is too much. This is quite an intense reflection right now, but well, you know what? I wanted to talk to you actually, Ren, about like, can we figure this out as well for Life 2D? But since it's kind of dependent on a slightly buggy behavior of VC, well, of Unity, its rendering, I'd expect the answer is no. But as long as you could figure out how to get an you know, some kind of channel out of the Live 2D capture, I'm gonna just put this, make this a bit quieter. I think the reflections are a tiny bit too intense, so what I'll do is I'll reduce them by just a smidge. Alright, after edit 3 different values, I'm going to go from 0.4 to 0.3. That looks good to me. So if we compare yeah, this is what the old one would have looked like. It's hard to get a good mix of the reflection and the eyes. And the new one gives a much better mix. I've not played a lot of this on keyboard recently. I've been playing it on a pad, but that's a completely different thing. So any model in Unity that has some kind of partial transparency texture. Oh, I should mention I tested different shaders, right? Because you can use the M-Tune shader to get partial transparency, and you can use the standard shader. This in fact works best with the standard shader in either fade or transparency mode. And as long as you use that shader on something, you can get this effect to work. One day I'll try doing this kind of difficulty level on a real pad, but at the moment so this is a level 9 track, and at the moment I'm able to play through level 3 to 5 on a real pad. I also had this idea that I was gonna do a stream with a real pad and do full body capture using a Kinect, because Kinects are going cheap, and in theory they do skeleton capture, right? And I actually tried it and it was a huge disappointment. It's like your movements get so smoothed out, there's just no snap to them, and it just kind of looks like you're hovering above the pad, and the calibration was impossible. I would have it, you know, the camera calibrated correctly, and then move around a bit, and it would just drift in weird ways. And also I couldn't get like jumping. You do a lot of jumping on a real pad, well, depending on how you play, but I do, and it just wouldn't capture that either. So if I crouched or jumped somewhere in the pipeline, the root motion of the hip joint or something wasn't being tracked well. So it just looked bad. It was a shame, but I'd still love to be able to do some full body stuff without having to buy a whole I'll play one more track without having to buy like a full Vive kit, all that. Yeah, I mean it's also a very old device, and from what I read, it sounds like there are ways to do similar things like skeletal tracking. If you have one of those new iPhones, or there's new methods based on just camera-based tracking. But I guess the state of the art has really advanced since the Kinect. This is a great track to do on a pad because it really does make you bounce around. I do it on a easier difficulty, of course, but it still includes lots of jumps. I'm looking over to the other screen to see, okay, how the reflections look. I think it's looking pretty good. You can see the reflections, but you can still see me blink and look left and right. Rigging the avatar to move based on the pad key presses. Yeah, that's definitely an idea. It's less authentic, you know, but I think that would definitely look cool. All right, next shiny game. Well, no. What? I set my keyboard in Stepmania mode, and chaos ensued when I tried to open up Steam. We're gonna play Tetris Effect Connected. Another very shiny game. I guess I could be going through my classics as well, Res and so on, but I've been in the mood to try Tetris. I saw you play Tetris 99, and let's see, game not being captured. Another thing I've done is I've tried to stay completely away from using Stream Effects source mirrors for kind of a petty reason. When you introduce a source mirror, it also adds a new audio source in the mixers. And you end up with like a billion different audio sources, even if that source you're mirroring has no audio and you've got it turned off. So I'm cluttering my scene list a tiny bit more, but most of those scenes I can ignore down at the bottom, and this way my my list of audio sources is much cleaner. Well, thanks. I'm glad people are enjoying the reflections. So I previously managed to get through this. I definitely got through the normal mode quite some time ago when it first came out. But I've completely lost all my Tetris skills. Not that I had a huge amount to start with. At one point this was just what I played after work, like come back home from work and immediately turn on a few rounds of Tetris Effect. I've lost my preview window. That quickly. Alright, auto paused. There we go. Yeah, much like other subjects, I have a lot of approximate knowledge in terms of graphics and shaders. And I am slowly trying to learn more. It's been very exciting getting to the point where I was actually writing a shader to perform a simple operation and then understanding what it's doing. Oh, no. I have time to think about where I'm placing things now. Missing where you were aiming for is kind of like, oh no, I had the right place for it, I just failed at a crucial moment to press it. An interesting thing to calibrate with this this effect is how it looks in a dark scene versus a light scene. Where's my frame rate? It's not looking amazing on stream, I don't know. I haven't actually checked my GPU usage since well, in the latest round of fiddling. So look. Okay. Something I'm doing is a tiny bit more GPU intensive in OBS. And Tetris Effect, I guess, is cranked up fairly high as well. Yeah, I did really like the effect of some of these Tetris Effect levels. The little effects when something falls down really lights up nicely. Right, let's think carefully. Set ourselves up for success when it starts getting much faster. Engaging the panic mode. I think this is a novel effect when it comes to VTubing, so I'm hoping I can get a bit of Twitter traction off that. Get a few eyes on my streams, but we'll see. It's been fun figuring it out in any case, and I enjoy the resulting effect. I want to make a version. I'm still figuring out the actual Unity side of things. I want to make toggleable glasses and give my other model toggleable glasses too. Maybe think of other things that could be reflective. I'll play to the end of this, what is it called, like an area? Split up into stages. I'll play to the end of the area. Try something else. It's terrible. I get so distracted by any cool idea I have, especially when it feels like it's immediately tractable. I was like 90%, 99% of the way done with this effect when I got distracted by thoughts of reading my overlays too. So I've got... I'm halfway to a JavaScript driven SVG overlay. And I still have a Bryce background half done, and my shoes half done. I guess I'm prioritizing the things that are requiring me to rebuild my whole OBS setup for a start. Once those are out of the way, I can fiddle some with models and so on. Oh, I just remembered as well, I want to test... So I've just been testing with this model with an alpha value that's actually very opaque. And before I publish a guide, I want to also investigate cases where you have something that's a lot more translucent. That might require quite different values in some of the filters. Right. I wanna keep slowly playing my way through that. Next up. Well, I could try fiddling with the model transparency values on stream, but that's pretty easy, isn't it? Because I just need to open up Unity and edit it in there. My whole capture setup is the auto scene switcher is it lost its settings when I changed version of OBS because I did build my own version of OBS and Stream Effects from scratch because I was going to try to modify a plugin so that I could get two different dynamic scenes into one thing, into one shader, but that didn't end up being necessary. But it destroyed my advanced scene switcher settings when I ran it. And my scene layouts are all over the place. So I'm just going to briefly, what am I going to do? So the glasses at the moment have an alpha value of 0.9686, which sounds like floating point rounding to me. I'm going to test, I guess 50, alpha 50 would be a good value to test with. So I'm going to export a new model, and it's going to be test standard transparent 0.5, and then dump that in my VRM test files folder. And then in VC Face, I'm just gonna bring up the forbidden interface, add the avatar. All right, so this is more normal sort of looking glasses. This has got an interesting effect on my iris. And what was I going to do? Something's not right. The window size. There we go. Let's get BGM back in. Alright, so this is a different model, and the only thing that's different is the glasses have a different transparency value. So what I need to do is change my thresholds for a start. So in the filters on the reflection mask, I'll show the reflection mask. Right now nothing is being captured as transparent. So the actual value of the pixels isn't going to be 0.5. It seems to be about 0.8 at one end. I'll remove the erode, and at the lower end I'll remove the dilate. That'll be clearer. So I'm looking at the edge of my model right now where the glasses are hovering over just background, and I'm trying to find that value, and that's about 0.53. And now I'm going to erode, dilate, so now we've got the reflection. I can see that it's working, but now maybe because there's more of, well, actually it'll be interesting to see on a darker scene. So where's my background? That looks pretty good. And then I can boost the amount of reflection. I might want a bit more now, because let's see what 0.5 looks like. Because we've got more of the skin showing through behind, we need a bit of a stronger reflection as well to make it visible. I'll stick with this avatar and these settings for the next test. I'm just picking a non-animated background in the hopes of saving my GPU a little bit of work. Alright. Next is going to be... Oh, I forgot something. We can go into the avatar scene, and we can put other things in the scene as well to be lit up. So I've got a spot controller set up. There we go. And this is by Virtual Graves, I think. It's on itch, and I have used Blender to render different layers that get animated based on my controller movements. All right, and we're going to play Redout. Hopefully. And I think I might have to fiddle. I have to fiddle something to make sure that it's captured. There we go. Well, that's quite a strong reflection now. We'll see how it looks. You can really read the text on screen.
Pilot level increased. New
Great.
events available.
Cool, thanks. I need to move the window. But it captures my mouse. Okay, fine. I'm not moving the window. What am I doing? I think on this save I've not opened up much, but that's good because I've not practiced much recently. Let's not do a time attack, let's do some kind of race. Can I level it up further? Upgrade. Okay, that all looks right.
Three, two, one, go. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm glancing over the Twitch stream every few seconds, so that's my excuse.
It does look better with the darker glasses overall, but still very good. Another thing that we could do is add some tinting. So I want to have some tinted glasses. Is tinted the right word? I want the reflection to be tinted. And we could do that just by adding an extra stage of multiplication by a gradient image.
Congratulations, bronze.
This is Redout, which is definitely inspired by Wipeout. It's just good. It feels good to race around. It does get too hard for me quite rapidly once you get into the higher speed classes, but then so does Wipeout. I want to do a more comprehensive playthrough of futuristic racing games on stream and really dig deep and you know, kind of discuss what even qualifies and which one is the best in a kind of dumb ranking. But I've been putting that off until I get, you know, a few more viewers overall, because it'd be more fun with more audience participation, maybe. And I'm not short of ideas for things to stream. The feeling of speed and drifting is just... it's just good. They also have... well, maybe I can show that off. They've got one ship that's just a pod racer from Star Wars Episode 1. Which I like, because I was quite a fan of Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. There are actually many new Wipeout style games if you're interested in that sort of thing. There's Ballistic NG, which is definitely trying to be an old school Wipeout. And there's Pacer, which I think is by some of the actual Wipeout team. And it's very difficult. I tried it, didn't get very far. I do want to get back to it. And there's the Wipeout Omega Collection, which I've got on PS4, and it's a really solid game as well. There's even a revival of Roll Cage. There's a game called Grip on Steam.
Silver medal awarded.
What I want to see is a revival of Extreme G, because there was Extreme G 1, I think might be the best. I don't know. Extreme G2 was still good. Extreme G3 I enjoyed, but I don't know, I liked some aspects of it. I remember feeling the racing wasn't so good. And then there was XGRA, which I don't even understand what was happening in that game. I couldn't get through the tutorial. Oh, sorry. Which one was the arcade game you spent time trying to set lap records in? That was Pod Racer. Ah, yeah. I've got the N64 version and the Steam version, and it's quite interesting. The difference in controls makes them feel like completely different games. So this one is the pod racer style one. Let's pick a race. Desert. Get some different shades of colour. He worked as an arcade attendant and did a lot of controls testing. Oh wow. I gotta look that up. I've never seen the arcade version. I wonder what the controls look like. Oh wow, this yes. Oh, this feels very good to control. This the controls on this game it's a dual stick. Basically you use one stick to steer and the other to strafe. I'm not, you know, I'm not good at racing games, but I do enjoy a good drift.
Gold medal awarded.
I'm going to go back to the other model and see how that looks and get a good one-to-one comparison. So I would need to fiddle with a couple of settings. There's the reflection mask, the multiplier. What was I doing? I was bringing that down to 0.3 rather, instead of 0.5. I don't know, maybe 0.5 would work for this game. And then the thresholds. And I just remember them, they were like 9, 9 and 9, 7, I think. Do one more race like this.
Three, 2, 1, go.
I've been looking at old school, well, like around like early 2000s demo scene presentations on how they did some of the shader work for some of their demos and intros, and I'm very big on that whole aesthetic. I'd like to try something like that on stream at some point. Great music as well, this game.
New record. Congratulations. Gold medal awarded.
Nice. Oh, are we not
3,
done?
2, 1, go.
Well, I guess I'll have to finish the cut. Maybe a first-person view would look especially good in reflections. I don't know. I don't usually play in this view, but oh, you know what? I just remembered. I did have. Okay, this is much harder. Proper cockpit view. I did for a long time think, oh, I'm going to play some futuristic racing games. I want to do a helmet. But it would be really nice to be able to do reflections. And then I kind of forgot about that. But now I know how. I just need slap a helmet model into Unity. Could even slap a fake cockpit as well, kind of fake cockpit interior or something. Oh, I can't remember which streamer it was. I saw a streamer, a VTuber recently doing a Dark Souls stream, I think, and they had, like, to tell off the viewers for backseating, they had an overlay that showed that, like, the back of their model, and it made it look like stream was like chat was literally in the back seat of a car, and in front of the car was the game, and so you couldn't quite see what was happening with the game, but it was absolutely hilarious.
New record.
I'm not playing very well, but these are the early stages, so
Gold medal awarded.
one of the things I've seen people complain about in this game is that it's actually quite easy to unlock everything, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, you make a lot of money per race, and there's not that many ships to buy. I bought the DLC as well. There's all kinds of of cool levels. I think they start at the next at class 2. I've only unlocked class 1 for now, but on this account. Yeah. I want to stream more of that at some point. Redout. Cool. What now? So I've got a whole bunch of scenes now that I don't actually need, because I figured out I had the previous way of doing things, and now I've got the better way of doing things. My plan is to clean up the scenes and the shaders, and do a write-up of the technique on Twitter, which it's going to be a challenge to, condense the many little steps into one, into a few tweets, but my desktop is echoey. There we go. But yeah, I think the lighting technique has been perfected. The reflection. And then after that, yeah, I want to work some more on my overlays. And I should think about what game I want to actually do for a normal stream, because I threatened some Ace Combat, or I've lost track. Ace Combat would be good. Oh, I wonder what it would look like with like N64 or something really pixely. That'd be neat to try out as well. But yeah, my brain is fried. Thank you so much to everyone who joined this experimental stream. I do not remember my outro. There it is. It's time for me to go. And if you, like me, have caught the Millennium Bug, make sure to watch the next stream, whenever that is, or find me elsewhere on the World Wide Web by clicking on the links below the video. I've been Millennium Cyborg, keep that future vibe, and I'll see you in the world of tomorrow. And find the credits. Oh no, where are the credits? Oh no. Seriously?